In a shocking and heartbreaking case that has gripped the United Kingdom, 33-year-old British nurse Lucy Letby has been sentenced to life imprisonment for the murder of 7 innocent infants and the attempted murder of 6 more. Brace yourself as we delve into the heart of this bone-chilling narrative, where the sinister actions of one individual have shattered the very foundations of trust and humanity. The harrowing crimes took place between 2015 and 2016 while Letby was working in the neonatal unit of the Countess of Chester Hospital in northern England. Letby's sentencing comes after a lengthy trial, where she was found guilty of intentionally harming the most vulnerable of children under her care. Letby's actions included overfeeding infants with milk, poisoning them with insulin, and injecting them with air. In a courtroom laden with grief and disbelief, Justice Gross, presiding over the trial at Manchester Crown Court, offered no solace to the perpetrator. Instead, he delivered a stern rebuke, denouncing Letby's actions as completely contrary to the normal human instincts of nurturing and caring for babies. In a rare and unequivocal verdict, he imposed a whole life sentence for each of her heinous offences, ensuring that she will spend the remainder of her days locked away from society, a fitting punishment for crimes that have left an indelible scar on the collective conscience. If you were the judge, would you do the same? Let us know in the comments below your thoughts about this crime. Let's get back to the narrative. The trial was an emotional ordeal for the families of the victims who had gathered at the court to see justice served. One grieving father expressed his anger and hatred towards Letby, emphasizing how her actions had forever changed their lives. The courtroom was described as harrowing by journalists present, as the devastated families confronted the unimaginable impact of Letby's crimes. What added an even more disconcerting layer to this already horrifying narrative was Lucy Letby's deliberate choice to shun the courtroom, instead opting to observe the proceedings from the confines of her prison cell. This calculated evasion of facing her accusers and the gravity of her crimes left a chilling void in the courtroom, a haunting silence that spoke volumes. The refusal to appear in court drew a tidal wave of condemnation from all corners of British society. The country's Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak, did not mince words when he branded Letby's decision as cowardly. His anger and frustration were palpable, as he called for immediate legal reforms to ensure that criminals like Letby are compelled to confront their victims and the harrowing consequences of their actions during sentencing. The sentiment was echoed by Keir Starmer, the leader of the British Labour Party, who expressed profound dismay at Letby's absence. He denounced her actions as a shamefully exploited loophole, highlighting the glaring inadequacies in the current legal framework that allow perpetrators to evade the emotional and moral reckoning of facing their victims and their families. The case has raised concerns about the hospital's management culture and its handling of the situation. Consultants at the hospital had noticed a disturbing pattern of increased deaths during Letby's shifts, but reported their concerns to hospital management with little effect. The hospital's priority appeared to be protecting its reputation rather than addressing the harm inflicted on the babies. The revelation that it took 2 years from the first murder for the police to investigate the matter has shocked many, and it underscores the need for greater accountability and transparency in healthcare settings. Dr. Nigel Scorn, medical director at the Countess of Chester Hospital, issued a statement expressing deep regret for the crimes committed at their facility and emphasized the need to learn from this tragic case. The case of Lucy Letby also brings back memories of other notorious medical murderers in the UK, such as Dr. Harold Shipman and nurse Beverly Allett. Dr. Harold Shipman, known as the Angel of Death, sent shivers down the spines of the entire country as his gruesome legacy unraveled. Over the span of 2 decades, Shipman mercilessly took the lives of hundreds of patients under his care, employing lethal doses of drugs as his weapon of choice. Nurse Beverly Allett, often referred to as the Angel of Death of Children, stands as another dark figure in the annals of British healthcare. During her tenure at a paediatric ward, Allett committed acts of unfathomable cruelty, fatally harming several children in her care. Her calculated actions, which included injecting her victims with lethal substances, shook the nation to its core. These chilling cases serve as reminders of the importance of maintaining the highest ethical and professional standards in healthcare, as well as the vigilance required to protect vulnerable patients. As the nation grapples with the chilling details of this case, Lucy Letby's life imprisonment sends a strong message that such heinous acts against the most defenseless among us will not be tolerated. The hope now is that the lessons learned from this tragedy will lead to greater safeguards in healthcare systems, ensuring the safety and well-being of all patients. especially the most vulnerable infants in neonatal care.